Why should you use online accounting? Hi, my name's Gordon De Silva. I work with Gordon's Knight Digital Accountants Division. I'm the managing director. I'm a business expert, an award-winning accountant, international best-selling author, and a speaker. My contact details are on the screen right there. And I want to discuss the problem. So what exactly is the problem? The first thing is accounts can take a lot of time. If you're an owner-managed business and you don't have a full accounts team, then you're going to be hiring bookkeepers and having people doing paperwork and invoicing and expenses and chasing money and all that sort of stuff. So it takes a lot of time. It costs a lot of money. Besides the software cost, which is probably small compared to some of the bigger things, you got the team costs, you got a recruitment cost, you got a bookkeeper cost. There's a whole load of cost associated with it. And if they're not doing things the most efficient way as of today, and let me explain about what that means. Take, for example, your mobile phone. Chances are, if you're watching this on a screen, you have an internet access, and I suspect you probably have a mobile phone, which is a smartphone. Now, if somebody said, look, I'll take away your smartphone and I'll give you one of those old brick phones that you had sort of 20 years ago when they first came out, you would just probably kick them out, right? And so, however, with accounting information, many people I work with and I meet for the first time are using methodologies that are like the old brick phones. They wouldn't do it now, but because it's not something that's in the public awareness, they're using the same old methodology with a few tweaks and stuff, and they're doing it now, whereas technology has moved things on a massive amount, and the cost advantages of following that trend is huge, efficiency and stuff. The third thing that we don't seem to get often as owner-managed businesses is decent reporting on time, every time, in the right quality that we understand. We don't really want pages and pages of numbers. I'm an accountant and I don't love pages and pages of numbers. I like to see my data summarized. I typically like to see it as graphs. I like to be alerted. We have a traffic light system. I like to know what's green, what's orange, and what's red. So that green, I can go, yeah, that's all cool. It doesn't need much attention. The orange ones need, it's going the wrong way, and the red ones, fix fast because it's affecting the business. So those are the three things that I see as being fixed by the online accounting model that we want to talk about. So why is this important? Now, everything we do is about these five focuses. The five focuses are profits for the business owner, cash flow, because that is the lifeblood. It's like blood for a business. If you don't have it, you die, right? It's about effectiveness. If we're all really busy. We have busy lives. I don't meet very many business people who have got loads of spare time. And so it's important to make things as effective as possible so we can do the best we have to do for our businesses and for ourselves, our families, our lifestyle and so on. Business value, I don't mean business value just for the sake of selling it, but take this for example. If you were looking to sell a business, you'd want it to be worth more than less. For a business to be worth more, certain things need to be present. It needs to be profitable, it needs to have a good growth rate, it needs to have systems, it needs to be non-reliant on you. So the business value, all of those things would be fantastic if you're not selling it, wouldn't it? Growth, big profits, good cash flow, easy on the business owner. And so why wouldn't you want it before you sell it? And so the business value is an integral part of how we see businesses as part of our focuses. And of course, growth is a key part of all of that. Now, some of the methodologies we use, we've got a toolbox of many tools that help achieve 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Some of them hit all 5. And I think this particular one is going to be one that hits all 5 for you, and we'll talk about that now. So what are the benefits of looking at online accounts? I see it as 7 reasons, and let's just go through each reason in turn. The first one is that you have common access from anywhere. You can go, you could be on a beach, you could be at home, you could be at a party if you really wanted to. You could be at work, you could be in a hotel. I mean, I was in a hotel and I was doing a speech at a conference, and I was in a hotel for a couple of nights, and I could easily, if I chose to, access my accounting records and just see where we were. I didn't, because I don't need to. I run my business in a very, very smooth, easy way, but I could if I wanted to. If I had to make a business decision on that day, I could have logged in, checked out my profitability, growth, cash flow, and I could have gone, yes, that's the right decision to make because I've got the relevant details in. So common access from anywhere. And more than one person can access it at any one time. So I could access it at the same time you're accessing it, and we can have a discussion on what we were looking at together. Brilliant. Collaboration. You see, one of the big things about online accounts, and the ones we use in particular, allow us to collaborate with our clients. If they have a question, if they want to make a decision, they want some input from a non-exec director type role, then we're able to collaborate with them real time, look at their data and go, look, this is what your data is telling us, this is the information it's giving you, here's the story behind your data and your figures, this is what it means for your decision. Now, if you take this decision, these are the risks. If you take this decision, the risks are the other, either less or more or whatever, and we help explain it so that the decision making is predictable. We can sort of almost predict the effect of a decision. We use some other tools to make that happen, but collaboration is a big part of it. Information in real time is really useful because if one of my team raises an invoice now, in 1 minute's time, if I log on to the accounts from my home or the hotel room or whatever, wherever I am, that information is available to me then. If I'm talking to a client and he's saying, how much do I owe you, I can click on and look at it now in real time. And that we'll talk about the next one in a second, but the next piece is going to be really important for real-time information. I don't want information that's 3 months old. I don't want information that's a month old. And I certainly don't want information that's a year old, which is what many owner-managed businesses do. They got data from, they don't get their accounts from 1 year to the next. That's terrible. Yes, that's no sense in that. Ease of data input is the next thing I want to talk about, because too often we will have people who are going in and typing invoices in, they're typing bank statements in, they are typing expenses in, check payments. All of this is being entered manually, and it takes time and it costs money. We've talked about that. Now we can import information directly from your bank. I don't mean even import it. The bank can squirt it in if you're working with the right bank. And hands up to, big wave out to HSBC. They're leaders in this. They make it so easy to take the data from your bank account and squirt it into your accounting data. It's one way only. You can't do it any other way. It just goes one way. It goes from the bank into your accounting system. Always accurate, always on time. How good is that? Then, of course, it's cheaper. Now, the software is cheaper, and that's, again, we talked about that being a small part of it. Some of the competitors for desktop software, for example, Sage, £600, £800 plus maintenance costs, really quite expensive, right? The one we use is one of the Rolls-Royce of online accounting software. It starts off at about £25 a month, and you only pay monthly. So really, how much cheaper is that to have that without any, and that, by the way, that includes support, remember, 24/7 email support. Typically you'll get an answer within 2-3 hours, often much quicker. They have support teams in New Zealand, Australia, UK and America. So, there's somebody online at most times of a 24-hour day. So that's really cool. But it's also cheaper in terms of all that data input we talked about. I could raise an invoice, by the way, from my mobile phone in about 3 minutes. If I went to see a client and agreed a fee for having that meeting with them, I could actually raise the invoice as I'm leaving their office, and by the time I got to my office, the invoice is raised in their hands by email. And then it can be followed up automatically and alerted to me if they don't pay. Now, the good news is my clients always tend to pay in advance of my service. But if you're not organizing your affairs like that, then it's cheaper. Version control, if you're using desktop software, then we, for example, have used desktop software with our clients for many years, and sometimes there's 7 different or 8 different versions of the software out there. That's crazy, right? We can't run a business with 8 different versions of the software. It's hugely expensive for us, and we're moving definitely closer and closer to having this one version of software, because it's always on the latest version. You're always on the latest version because your monthly £20, £25 a month includes support and keeps you up to everyone on the platform is always on the latest version. That's how good that is. We've talked a little bit about flexibility. Flexibility, it comes in several ways. One is where you can access the data and how you can put the data in. You can do it on mobile phone, you can import it, you can use it on your tablet, PC, Mac, iPad, the whole works. More than that, you could choose to outsource your accounting function. Many of our clients outsource it to us because we've got this hands-free, hassle-free bookkeeping service. You can have a look at another video if you wish. But the flexibility of going, I want somebody else to do it, and they don't have to come to my office. Office space is at a premium in the UK. We pay a lot of money for it. Why do you need your bookkeeper to be in the office with a desk and a PC? That is old hat. If you can see what's happening real time, you do not need that person in your office, wasting your desk space, your rent, and your rates of keeping that desk there. They can work from home, and you can see the information real time as they do it. And of course, security is of paramount importance with finances, and so we're talking about bank type security. Now, here's a proviso. If you don't trust online banking and you don't use online banking yourself, if you don't access your account online, if you do not use hole in the wall for taking cash out or accessing statements or anything else, then and because you don't trust the banking system and the security of it, then fair enough. And maybe even you don't even trust credit cards because of the fraud potential, then you may not want to trust accounting software. However, if you use credit cards, if you use hole in the walls, if you use online banking, there is no difference in the security of this product compared to those. In fact, it's completely much safer than using your own data in your computer, because you will have crashes, you will have firewall issues and everything else, and those are the things that make a big difference to security. So keep that in mind when you look at whether you choose an online software or not. Ultimately, we're looking at the business growth model. This is where we're going with all of this. Most clients start off from being employed to self-employed. They go from self-employed or director to becoming a director, where they direct a team. And so they want to delegate this stuff. And beyond that, they become owner, where they don't even direct the team. It just works. And then they become investors of more than one business, of property, more than one property, shares, pensions, whatever. And ultimately, it gives them the choice. As they go up that ladder, it gives them the choice of what to do with their time, what to do with their lives, how to spend the money they've accumulated over time. That's why we're doing all of this stuff. That's why most of our clients are in business. And in fact, all the clients we work with on the Profit Multiplier want to get up that ladder faster. That's what the process is. Online accounts is critically part of that process. And one of the things we do, we have this 3-step process. We call it the identify, quantify, multiply process. That's all in another video if you want to watch it. But those 3 processes, one of the things we do is, can we identify where we are and what's working and how well it's working? Online accounts help that process. Now, to be fair, most of the stuff on online accounting is historic passive data. It's not predictive data, so it's not brilliant, but it is absolutely essential. It's like the foundation. There's no point going for the clever stuff if you can't get the basics right. So there's no point having a Rolls-Royce body if you haven't even got a chassis to put it on, right? So you can't put it on a mini chassis or a Ferrari chassis. You need a proper chassis to hold this 2.5-ton monster that sits on top that goes 200 miles an hour or whatever, right? So that's what it's all about. So let me ask you to pause there. I've talked a lot. Just pause for a second and make a note of what takeaways you've got. We talked about why we're doing it. We talked about the problems that it solves. We talked about reasons why you should consider online accounting. We've talked about the benefits of it. We've talked about the business growth model. Remember, we talked about the 5 focuses. Out of all of that, what are the key things that you've picked up off from our presentation today? And just make a note of what you want to do with this information. You want to ignore it and carry on for another year? Or do you want to think about it for 3 months and then 6 months and then 12 months? Or do you want to start taking action now? Do you want to start making a decision now and saying, what can I do? How can I plan this? What's a 2 or 3 month project that I can implement now that in 3 months' time will start giving me monthly accounts that I can use for decision making, to help me grow my business better, to help me manage my business better, and take my business to the next level. So have a think about that, and hopefully that has been of some value. My information is on here. You can look at it on one of those 2 websites, and I look forward to speaking to you. If you need help, click one of the buttons on this page, a 10-minute quick fix. If you want to just ask me a couple of questions, it's only 10 minutes, and I will only give you 10 minutes to just go through it quickly. So you will have watched this video and just get your questions ready. Fast-paced, solutions-based, and we'll take care of you from there. Okay, thank you so much for your time, and if you like it, don't forget to click the like button if there is one, share it, comment on it if you have a comment to make, and I look forward to speaking to you on another video blog. Take care. Goodbye.